Your BMW isn't going to die from one big mistake. It's going to die from 5 small ones you're doing right now without even realizing it. I've been wrenching on these cars long enough to know that the engines that make it to 200,000 miles and the ones that get parted out at 90,000 were built on the exact same assembly line. The difference isn't luck, it's habits. None of these habits are dramatic enough to trigger a warning light, which is exactly why so many owners never realize they're slowly wearing their BMW out. So today, I'm walking you through 5 habits that feel completely normal, that you've probably done or seen done this week, that are quietly putting your wheels and bumpers at risk and wearing down your fuel system, your undercarriage, your engine, and your transmission. Stick around for the 5th one, because it's a parking habit almost every owner has done without thinking twice. I want to be clear about something before we start. A blown head gasket or a dead alternator announces itself. These 5 habits work in the background, quietly shortening the life of parts you won't think about until the day they fail. If you own the car for the long haul, or if you're planning to hand it down or sell it in great shape, this is the video that actually protects your investment. None of what I'm about to walk you through requires a wrench, a lift, or any real mechanical skill. That's actually what makes these 5 so frustrating. They're not technical failures you couldn't have prevented. They're small moments, repeated hundreds of times over the years you own the car, that quietly compound into 5-figure repair bills. Let's get into it. Habit number 1 is as simple as pressing a button, and it's one of the most relatable habits on this entire list. You're parking in your own driveway for the 100th time, or squeezing into a tight spot you know like the back of your hand, and that PDC chime starts up, faster and faster as you get close. Most owners have hit that button to shut it off at least once, and a lot of owners just leave it off permanently because the beeping gets old. Here's the problem with that. The exact moments PDC is most useful, tight parking garages, unfamiliar driveways, backing out between 2 parked cars, are also the moments you're most likely to misjudge a distance by an inch or 2. Without the sensors giving you that escalating warning, the first thing that tells you you've misjudged it is the sound or feel of contact. On a BMW, that's very rarely a cheap sound. Alloy wheels scraped against a curb need professional refinishing to look right again, typically running well over $100 per wheel. And a deep enough scrape means a full wheel replacement instead of a repair. Bumpers on these cars are painted to match and often house the sensors themselves, so a low-speed curb or post-contact can mean a repaint, a cracked sensor, or both. None of this is really about the sensors themselves, they're just doing their job. It's about the habit of disabling a safety system because it's mildly annoying, then forgetting it's off the next time you actually need it. The fix costs nothing and takes 0 effort. Leave PDC on. If the volume genuinely bothers you, most BMWs let you adjust the chime volume through iDrive instead of killing the system outright, so you keep the warning without the full blast every single time. A quieter beep is a small price for skipping a repair bill you didn't need to have. Quick mention while we're on the subject of habits that quietly wear down expensive systems. If you want a complete breakdown of exactly which fluids, procedures, and habits actually extend the life of these cars, model by model, I put everything into the complete BMW Longevity Bible. It's linked in the description, and it's pay what you want, so there's genuinely no reason not to grab it. Habit number 2 is one nearly every owner has done. Pushing the gas light for one more day, running the tank down to fumes because you'll fill up tomorrow. It feels harmless because the car keeps starting and keeps driving. What's actually happening is you're slowly wearing out one of the fuel system's most overlooked components. Here's the mechanical reason. The pump that actually lives in the tank, the low-pressure electric pump that feeds fuel forward to the engine, is designed to sit submerged in fuel. That fuel isn't just what it pumps, it's also what cools it and lubricates its internals while it runs. When the tank gets low, that pump is drawing air along with fuel, running hotter than it's designed to, and pulling from the bottom of the tank, where sediment naturally settles over the life of the car. Every time you run the tank near empty, You're asking that pump to work in exactly the conditions it wasn't built for, and repeating that pattern for years accelerates its wear and increases the odds of pulling contaminants through the rest of the fuel system. A fuel pump replacement on a turbocharged BMW runs several $100s including labor, and it's a job that should happen at very high mileage, not years early because the pump spent its life running hot and dry. The fix is genuinely simple and requires no tools, no appointment, and no special knowledge. Fill up around a quarter tank instead of running it down to the warning light every time. The pump runs cooler, cleaner, and lasts years longer, and it costs you nothing but slightly more frequent gas station visits. Habit number 3 isn't something you do behind the wheel, it's something you don't check after someone else works on your car. Most BMWs have a plastic underbody panel, sometimes called a belly pan or splash shield, that has to come off for a lot of routine service, including a standard oil change, because it sits directly below the drain plug. It's an easy thing for a shop to reinstall loosely, crack while removing it, or in some cases, just not put back on at all if a clip snaps and nobody replaces it. That panel is doing more than looking tidy underneath your car. On many models, it directs cooling airflow to the transmission oil cooler and shields the transmission pan, oil pan, and the connectors and wiring running along the underside from rocks, road spray, and salt kicked up by your own front tires. Without it, that whole area is exposed the way it was never designed to be. A cracked connector, a chipped transmission pan, or accelerated corrosion on wiring you'll never see until something stops working are all realistic outcomes of driving around for months with a panel that's missing or hanging by one clip. The fix takes about 10 seconds and costs nothing. After any service that requires dropping the underbody panel, an oil change, a filter, anything underneath, glance under the front of the car before you drive off, or ask whoever did the work to confirm it's back on and fully clipped in. If you ever hear a new scraping or flapping sound from underneath at low speed, pull over and look before you keep driving on it. Most owners have no idea this panel does anything beyond covering the underside, which is exactly why it's so easy to drive around for years with it missing and never connect the dots when something underneath eventually fails. Habit number 4 is the opposite of a mistake most owners already know about. Everyone's heard that running low on oil is bad. Fewer people realize that adding too much between changes causes a different kind of damage, and it happens more often than you'd think. Usually from someone eyeballing a top-off instead of checking the dipstick or iDrive reading carefully. Here's the mechanical problem. Your crankshaft spins at the bottom of the engine, close to the oil sitting in the pan. At the correct fill level, it clears the oil surface. Overfill the system, and the crankshaft counterweights start dipping into the oil with every rotation, whipping it into a froth the same way a mixer aerates batter. Foamed oil doesn't lubricate the way it's supposed to, because it's full of air pockets instead of being a solid film between moving parts. That's a genuine oil pressure problem hiding behind a full-looking dipstick. On top of that, excess oil raises internal crankcase pressure, and that pressure has to go somewhere. It typically finds the weakest seals in the system, which on most BMWs means the front and rear main seals. And a slow, overfill-related leak can turn into a real one. This is an easy habit to fall into because more oil feels safer than less. It isn't. Check the level with the engine off and the car on level ground. Know exactly where full actually sits for your specific engine, and if you're topping off yourself between services, add small amounts and recheck, rather than pouring in a full quart because that's what the bottle holds. A slightly low reading is a much smaller problem than a foaming, overfilled system that's already stressing your seals. And if you've had a shop do your last oil change, and you've noticed a fresh drip on the driveway that wasn't there before, don't assume it's a coincidence. Ask them to check the fill level before you assume you need a new seal. And that brings us to habit number 5, the one I said we'd come back to. This is a parking habit, not a driving habit, and it's one almost every owner has done without thinking twice. Shifting into park while the car is still moving those last few inches into the spot. Here's what's actually happening. Park isn't a gear the way drive or reverse are. It's a small metal hook called the parking pawl that drops into a notched wheel on the transmission's output shaft and physically locks it from spinning. That system is built to hold a stationary car. It was never designed to stop one that's still rolling. When you shift into park while the car is creeping along at even 1 or 2 miles an hour, the output shaft is still spinning, and the pawl gets slammed against the teeth of a moving gear instead of dropping cleanly into a notch. Most modern transmissions have a speed cutoff, usually somewhere around 2 to 5 miles an hour, meant to block the pawl from engaging above that threshold. It isn't foolproof, and at the low end of that range, the pawl can still make contact. The result is a grinding or ratcheting sound most owners write off as nothing, because the car still ends up in park and nothing dramatic happens in the moment. What's actually happening is the pawl and the gear teeth are chipping against each other every single time. It's a cumulative injury, not a one-time event. Do it often enough, and you eventually get a car that rolls a few extra inches when you think it's parked. A park position that clunks or grinds every time you engage it. Or, in the worst cases, fragments from a chipped pawl circulating through the transmission fluid and scoring the valve body. That kind of failure means the transmission comes out. It isn't a quick fix. The fix costs nothing and takes no extra time at all. Come to a complete, full stop with the brake pedal first, then shift into park. It sounds almost too simple to matter, but this is one of those habits that separates a transmission that lasts the life of the car from one that needs a rebuild at 120,000 miles for a reason nobody can quite explain. None of these 5 habits are dramatic. Nobody's ignoring a warning light for a year or redlining a cold engine on purpose. That's exactly why they're so dangerous. Parking sensors switched off out of habit, a fuel tank run down too often, an underbody panel nobody confirmed was back on, an oil top-off that went a little too far, and a park shift a few inches too early. Individually, each one shaves a little bit off your BMW's lifespan. Together, they're the difference between a car that's still tight at 150,000 miles and one bleeding you dry with repair bills that never quite make sense. If this video saved you from a repair bill you didn't know was coming, drop a comment with which habit surprised you the most, because I read every one, and it shapes what I cover next. If you want the complete playbook, every fluid, every interval, every warning sign, organized by engine, the complete BMW Longevity Bible is linked below. Leave your parking sensors on, fill up a little sooner, glance underneath after your next service, keep an eye on the dipstick, and come to a full stop before you shift. Take care of the small stuff, and this car will take care of you for a very long time.